Hey everybody, welcome back to another deep dive, brought to you by Safety One Source. Today we're scaling new heights, exploring the often overlooked but absolutely critical role of voice signals in train safety.
That's right.
So whether you're a seasoned crane operator, an aspiring operator dreaming of reaching for the sky, or a safety pro dedicated to keeping everyone safe on the ground, this deep dive is for you.
Absolutely.
Now, we all know cranes are powerful machines, right?
Uh-huh.
They demand our respect, and a huge part of that is clear communication. But here's the thing. You might be surprised how often something as simple as a voice signal can make or break a safe operation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So today we're going to break down exactly what OSHA has to say about voice signals, uncover some common mistakes that can happen even with experienced crews, and share some tips on how to make sure your voice is the ultimate safety tool up there on the construction site.
That sounds good.
Now, to guide us through this high-flying deep dive, we've got a true expert in the field who's seen it all, heard it all, and probably saved a few lives along the way.
Well, hopefully.
So let's get started, all right?
Okay.
First things first, I got to ask, OSHA, the big safety watchdog, right? Where do they stand on all these voice signals for crane operations?
Well, OSHA's got a whole second dedicated to this, actually. It's OSHA 1926.1421, to be precise.
Okay, 1926.1421. So I'm guessing it's not just about yelling up and down from the ground, right?
No, it's definitely a lot more nuanced than that. And it all starts with, believe it or not, a meeting.
A meeting?
Yeah, like a pre-operation meeting before anyone even thinks about lifting a load. OSHA says you got to have the operator, the signal person, and the lift director, if there is one, all in a huddle.
Wait, so hold on. You're telling me it's not just a quick, hey, good morning, let's get to work kind of thing?
No. This is a legally required safety step.
Okay, all right, legally required.
Yeah.
So what exactly are they hashing out in this pre-op huddle?
Well, they're going over all the hand signals, the voice commands, basically making sure that everyone's speaking the same language when it comes to safety,
Because I imagine, like, if I'm way up in the crane cab and I hear someone yell, stop, do I slam on the brakes?
Right. Or are they just telling me to keep going? It's confusing.
That's pretty crucial, I'd say.
Absolutely.
So you have a pre-op meeting, everyone's clear on the signals, we're good to go for the whole shift, right?
Not quite.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. What happens if a new worker comes on site?
Oh, okay.
Or maybe there's a change in the plan. OSHA's pretty clear about this. Anytime there's a shift in personnel or the operation changes significantly, you need another huddle.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, consistency and clarity are key. You can't just assume everyone's on the same page.
Makes sense. You don't want any, crossed wires, literally.
Right, exactly.
All right, so let's break it down. Let's say we've had our pre-op meeting. We're all on the same page. What does a proper voice signal actually sound like? Is it just up, down, left, right?
It's a little more involved than that, actually.
Okay.
It's more like painting a picture for the operator with your words.
Oh, okay.
So OSHA requires a 3-part signal every time. First, you got to communicate the function, things like hoist, boom, swing.
Okay, so the action?
Yeah, exactly. Then you add the direction, like up, down, left, or right.
Okay, got it.
And finally, you got to give them the distance or speed, slowly 5 feet all the way.
So it's almost like you're giving them coordinates, kind of.
Yeah, I could say that.
Okay.
And one more crucial thing.
What's that?
You always end with a clear stop command.
So just to make sure it's like, boom, left, 10 feet, stop.
Exactly.
Okay, wow. That's way more specific than I initially thought, but I can definitely see how, that level of detail is super important for the operator up there.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're dealing with tons of steel swinging through the air.
Right.
I bet you've seen some close calls in your career, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. One that really sticks with me involved a signal person who yelled, lower it down.
Lower it down.
Okay, seemed clear enough at the time, right? But they didn't specify how far down.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. Luckily, the operator was super experienced, sensed something was off, and stopped the load just inches above a group of workers.
Whoa, okay, so a near miss, basically.
Yeah, it could have been a disaster.
That's pretty scary. It really shows how important that precision is with those voice signals.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just giving directions, it's, painting that crystal clear picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Now let's talk about something else that I think is really important. Construction sites are noisy places.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got machinery running, wind howling, people yelling.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sure those voice signals are heard over all that chaos?
Well, a good signal person needs to be loud, clear, and confident. You got to make sure your voice cuts through all that noise.
Okay.
Projection is key.
Projection, yeah. Now, here's another thing I've been thinking about. What happens when you've got workers who speak different languages on a site?
That's a good question.
How do you make sure those voice signals are understood by everyone?
That can be a real challenge. OSHA's pretty clear that everyone involved has to understand each other perfectly.
Okay, so no room for error.
Exactly. So, if there are language barriers, you've got to have a plan.
A plan. All right, so what kind of plan?
That could mean translators, standardized hand signals, maybe even visual aids.
Okay.
The goal is to eliminate any chance of miscommunication.
So it's really about going the extra mile to make sure everyone's literally on the same page.
Right, because ultimately it's about keeping people safe.
It is. It is. Well, I think this has been incredibly eye-opening. You know, it's so easy to forget how important clear communication is in an environment like that. So to recap, I guess, those pre-operation meetings are non-negotiable.
Right.
Our voice signals need to be super specific and follow that three-part format. And everyone on that psych needs to be able to understand each other, no matter what language they speak.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you all with a question. What responsibility do you feel you have to speak up if you're unsure about a signal, or if you see something that just doesn't seem safe? Because remember, safety isn't just the job of the signal person or the operator. It's everyone's responsibility.
That's right.
And you really want to dive deeper into all this, I encourage you to check out the full OSHA 1926.1421 regulations.
Good idea.
Huge thanks to Safety OneSource for sponsoring this deep dive into the world of crane safety. Stay safe out there, everyone.